Buy or sell, it's time to move on from Deebo Samuel.
Well, what does that mean? Move on from? You're going to cut him? You're not going to do that. You're going to trade him. You're not going to get fair value for him. You're going to bench him. That you might be able to do if you've got some good receivers, good flex.
I will not.
Won't bench him?
No, not yet.
Right. Buy or sell, no one on Atlanta is worth rostering.
I will sell that statement.
Ooh, that was a good Heath sigh. I got to put that in the edit notes.
I'll buy it in a 10-team league, but I will also sell it in a 12-team league.
Let's say Njoku's going to miss one game, and then he has his bye. Would you rather have Njoku or Kyle Pitts rest of the season?
Njoku by a
It's
bazillion
gotta
miles.
Be. You're right. It's got to be Njoku.
Like I was going to ask Greg Dulcich or Kyle Pitts.
Buy or sell, if you have Lamar Jackson, you should find a backup and consider playing matchups. This is now 4 straight games of fewer than, I think, 18 or fewer fantasy points for Lamar Jackson. If you have Lamar Jackson, you should find a backup and consider playing matchups.
Adam, what's his pass attempt per game been over those 4 games?
Well, he only
had 16 passes.
But it's been 29, 32, and 32. In fact, his first 6 games of the year, it was 29 to 32 passes every week. This week was only 16, even though he ball a ton.
Kind of an anomaly for this week, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been under 250 yards now 5 straight games.
I just don't think I can. Yeah. I don't know that matchups have anything to do with it. Would really be afraid if I did that I was going to start Lamar Jackson when he scored 14 and sit him when he scores 55.
He's got the Bucs next week. If that defense is still beat up, he should have a huge game.
I think he's right. I mean, I think basically if you look at what happened last year he was among the leaders in yards, like rushing plus passing, yards, fantasy points by yards alone. He was among the leaders, but his touchdowns were so uneven. He would have games with 4 touchdowns or something. He would have a lot of games where he would have no more than 2. And Gus Edwards just, kind of vultured him today. And I think that's just what it is, right? Yeah. I agree with you, Heath. It's not the matchups. It's the touchdowns. Is he going to get a touchdown? And Rashad Bateman dropped a touchdown in this game. So I don't know. It is frustrating. I get it. And this is maybe the 3rd year in a row where he's going to be frustrating for fantasy managers.
Is it a buy low opportunity?
If somebody thinks that he's now a matchup dependent streamer, I would say it absolutely is. I mean, as frustrating as it's been, he's probably going to be QB 5 or 6 for the year at the end of this week.
Okay, buy or sell, Romeo Doubs is droppable.
100%. Better one. Believe it or not, Chris Olave is the only rookie wide receiver who needs to be rostered.
I don't think I believe yours, Heath. And I don't know if I'm going to believe... He shouldn't be on a roster, but if Lazard's hurt for a while, who are they playing on the outside in Green Bay? Now, you might say, does it even really matter? That's fair. But he's been terrible. The only thing I'm thinking of is he could continue to see opportunities, and maybe he works through this rut that he's in.
You believe it, Adam?
I think so. I mean, the thing is, how can you buy that the Falcons are going to throw the ball this infrequently? It's kind of insane, right? I'm assuming they would set up a record in the last blank years, fewest pass attempts.
Might be the fewest pass attempts since Arthur Smith was running the offense in Tennessee.
No, it's going to shatter that. I mean, they're so low. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, eventually they got to start throwing more. And if they do, Drake London, at least his target share most weeks is astronomically high. I mean, coming into the game, he had a 30+% target share. So,
yeah, Pitts had like a 42% target share today.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you believe it, Heath, that Olave is the only rookie wide receiver worth rostering?
No, I set you up perfectly. I'm going to do many times tonight, and this one you failed. Wan'Dale Robinson 100% needs to be rostered.
Forgot about him. All right, buy or sell the Panthers backfield.
Buy.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, since we're just going to do them all in the first 5 minutes of the show, you can start both Panthers running backs next week against the Falcons.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can believe that. It's really incredible how they both played well. And in the case of Foreman, like breaking tackles and just getting extra yardage, if he had a scintilla of speed, he would have had like one of the best. He might be RB1 this week.
But he does have some explosiveness, just not top end
Yes.
speed.
Right. He doesn't have
he
a second
exploded
gear.
through the hole, but he just
Right.
got caught.
And I thought Hubbard looked great too. I think they both looked really, really good. We know that there are pieces of this offensive line that aren't great, but there are pieces that are developing and becoming better. And man, the Bucs were just a mess today defensively. They were horrible. Back end is all beat up. So not a surprise that these guys ended up being as good as they were. And they've got Atlanta. Cincinnati is going to be a tough game for them in week 9. And then Atlanta again. So 2 of their next 3 games are against the Falcons. That's really good.
So, are we overreacting here? We had like no interest in them. This is arguably the worst team in football. No, I'm sorry. Okay, all right.
We did not have
had
no
interest
interest.
in them. Very mild interest. Right? I actually never got your thoughts on it, but I don't think you were on the show.
I had
since the
Chuba at RB30 and Foreman at RB36, I think.
Right.
Or 30,
So that-
30 and 36.
Right. That makes sense. Right. That's what
So
we
a
thought they were.
boost, just a small incremental boost up for them might put them at RB24 and RB30.
I think one thing that's a little disappointing is that they combined for 4 catches, and they split them. And I don't know.
Well, I mean, they were playing from ahead the whole game, just as we expected.
Yeah, I know.
And they probably will do it again next week against the Falcons.
What? Now you're picking them to beat the Falcons? Are you? Come on, now. This is a week 7.
Good about the Falcons' offense or defense from the last 2 weeks.
They beat the crap out of the 49ers 2 weeks ago.
They did.
They did,
beat
and
them
the
by
49ers were
14
beat up
points.
going into the game. They had a
Oh,
defensive touchdown.
Come on, the Panthers are going to beat the Falcons. Now the Falcons are.
Well,
gonna-
they might. They're both terrible.
I don't know that they're both.
Who's got the better defense? Let's just start right there.
For sure,
Panthers or
Carolina.
Falcons?
100% Carolina.
Carolina is a better defense. They are always on the field. They're lowest. They're last in the NFL in time of possession. So their defense usually gives up a lot of points because their offense is so bad.
And I might give the offensive line edge to Atlanta. They've done a good job running the ball. Just in general, they use 3 guys.
Carolina has the best wide receiver.
Getting a little off subject
Obviously.
here. I'm sorry, but all right.
Who has the best tight end?
Buy or sell. Tommy Tremble with the touchdown.
Tommy Trimble scored today.
He did.
Buy or sell. DJ Moore is relevant the rest of season.
I mean, I'm encouraged by what the coach said after the game. He knew that he needed to get more involved. He had a big target right off the top of the game. Walker didn't embarrass himself this week like he did last week. They weren't trying to.
Relevant for
Show-
sure, yes.
Why
Bye.
Thank you. Just say buy or sell. Buy or sell.
Dave
I'm
doesn't like
excited.
games.
I'm going to say bye.
Okay, bye. He had 7 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown on 10 targets. A week after having 3 catches for 7 yards on 7 targets. DJ Moore was started in 27% of leagues. We'll see what it is next.
Not a very good started fantasy point week for him.
No.
I was
Buy or
like
sell.
8% of that 27.
Buy or sell. You should sell high on Christian Kirk. Yeah, I think he had about 90 yards today.
He did.
96.
16 of them came on the last play of the game when he made a nice catch, but like turned his back toward the end zone when he needed to score, and he was like a yard short of it.
Oh,
Love the 10 targets. Love the 7 catches. I don't think anybody's going to give you anything for him in trade. So if you can sell high, sure, go for it.
What is this anti-Christian? You guys were. I don't know if you were.
I don't think.
I
No,
like
he's
him.
a
He's
low end
good.
number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, come on.
He's a rich man's Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, come on.
I think he's
I don't
more
think
just another Jacoby Myers.
He a 66% started Christian Kirk.